I'm going to show you today how to find articles for your research paper. So I'm on the Avon Local Schools website. I'm on buildings and I went to middle school. So that's what I clicked. On the middle school page, you're going to scroll to the very bottom and there should be a box that says student links. That's what you're going to want to click. On student links, you're going to go to InfoHio. You're going to scroll down and you're going to look for Points of View Reference Center right here. This creates a list of potential topics for you to actually use to find your paper topic. So you might want to pause the video at some point and scroll around and look through the different topics. Up at the top, they give you some of the most popular topics right now. So there's things about Uber, there's something about transgender restroom use, globalization, religious freedom laws. Those are hot topics. But if you scroll down, you'll see that there are many more topics that you can choose from, okay? So even if you click, let's say that you're really interested in animal welfare, if I click the More button, notice that they have suddenly articles on hunting, invasive species, zoos, and circuses. So you can really click any of them and you can explore them. So you might want to pause the video and find your topic now. For the sake of time, though, I'm just going to move on and show you, once you have your topic, what you're going to do to get these articles onto Google Drive and how to cite them properly. So my topic, I'm going to say, is animal rights. The first thing they give you is an overview of the topic. This is like the history of animal rights, some key terms like animal testing, factory farming, etc. This information is necessary for us because it might help us with the background information in our introduction. It could help us further our explanations. And if you're not 100% familiar with the topic, this is where you get like the main idea of the topic. So there is no argument so far. It's just animal rights. This is where we get our main information. When you actually want to come up and create an argument, you'll notice on the right-hand side, they have two places called related items. There's a point and a counterpoint. The point says animals deserve the same rights as humans. The counterpoint says animals do not have any rights. So this is where eventually we will find our information to prove that animals should be treated with equal rights, the same rights as humans, or we don't believe that animals are on the same playing field as humans. So that's really the argument. This is just the information about animal rights that might help us understand the argument, okay? So when you get to this page, you're going to want to copy and paste this into Google Docs so that you have the information and you don't have to keep coming back to the database. If you want to keep coming back, that's up to you, but I think it's a lot of work. So I'm going to scroll down and I am going to copy this article. I'm going to hit Control-C. I already went into a blank Google Doc. I labeled it the overview because it's the overview article, and I put animal rights. I'm also going to put it at the top of this document. I'm going to click enter a few times, and I'm going to hit Control-V. The first thing you might notice is that the font gets a little messed up. It's kind of small, and it may be difficult to read it this way. So I want to change it to Times New Roman 12. The reason that you're going to want to change it to Times New Roman 12 is because eventually when you're going to be typing your research paper, and you might want to be able to just copy and paste certain quotes over there and cite them without having to change the font over and over again. So I'm going to hit Control-A, and it highlights everything. Then I'm going to go up here, click Times New Roman, size 12. I'm going to make sure it's not bolded. And I'm going to make sure that it's black font. This way, when you're copying and pasting, you don't need to go back through and change all the fonts and the colors. Everything is where you want it. You might want to double space it. You could do that now if you want, if it helps you read. Go up here and click double. You could also, if you want to, you can make it single spacing or 1.15. For your paper, it's going to be double spacing, but how you want to read this article is entirely up to you. Okay? So this is my overview article, but we're not done yet. So eventually at the end of your paper, you're going to have a works cited page. That's where you list the exact places that you got the information from. So the articles. So typically if we use two articles, we just cite the different authors. There's also something called a works cited page that goes at the end of a paper where you list all of your sources. Okay. On the right-hand side, you'll see that there's a button that says Cite. We're going to click it. And we are going to scroll down in this box to find MLA. You'll notice it has works cited up there. You could copy and paste it again. I think I already put it in the document. So all I really need is this right here. It has the exact website where I found it from. It tells me what the article is called, Animal Rights and Overview. It tells me the database where I find it. The date that I found it, which was on March 1st, 2000, well, the date that it's written, March 1st, 2016. And it lists the two authors. So I'm going to go up here, type works cited, because this is where I'm going to put it, hit enter, and then paste it. We don't want it to have this blue background. It's kind of weird, so I'm going to change it to be Times New Roman size 12 again. And I'm pretty sure it's not black font, so just to make sure, I'm going to make sure it's black. Then it's kind of messed up, and that's not exactly how we put it in our paper. So you're going to want to click the second line, hit enter. It doesn't move anywhere, but then it allows you to tab it over. So this is what I clicked enter again for this next line, and then you just click enter and it should tab over automatically. So when we're doing our works cited, this is exactly how it should look. This part is a little bit more to the right than the first line. You can also, up above this citation, so right here, I'm going to put the two authors' last names in parentheses, so that way I know whenever I'm citing anything from this article, in parentheses, I know that I have to put Rich and Wagner, because those are the last names of the two authors, okay? You don't have to do that. I just think it's easier so that anytime I have a quote, I know that this is what's going to come after the quote. This part will come at the very last page of your entire paper, and you'll list all of the articles that you've ever used. All right? So this concludes the overview document. Now you're going to have to go through and find the point and counterpoint articles, okay? So now what you're going to want to do is go back to the docs home. We're going to create a whole new doc. Click blank. And then return back to this article and await the next video.